In August of 2015, a game on the platform Roblox would be published under the name Teletubbies Fun Game Official, either under the username BBC TV or BBC UK, likely an attempt to pass themselves off as the real BBC. While the game would be unassuming at a first glance, those that actually played it would find something more off-putting, to say the least. The outer layer. At first, this appears to be a simple obby, or obstacle course as it is called by the Roblox community, with the main gimmick of the game being various tubby custard collectibles sprinkled throughout. The course, as described by some, was mind-numbingly easy, with many of the so-called obstacles being extremely easy to traverse. In addition, there were various textures as well as models depicting various characters from the show, placed in haphazard spots. That was until one player, who will remain anonymous for privacy's sake, discovered something about one of the collectibles. In the distance, there was a single floating tubby custard model that had no textures, leaving it as a silhouette. At first, the player attempted to collect said custard through various means, including jumping from various parts of the course to no avail. That was until they simply just walked toward it out of desperation. Surprisingly, this worked as there appeared to be invisible tiles that allowed for the player to walk on them. As the player collected the black tubby custard, the game's facade slipped away and showed its true nature. The inner layer. The inner layer, as compared to the outer layer, was completely different. Gone was the overly bubbly, sanitized obby with models and poorly cropped images of the Teletubbies cast. The world was now plunged into a monochromatic hellscape. The general area, as described by the player, was a recreation of the main set used for the show, though with the main house in the center appearing to be burned or melted. As the player navigated through the area, they stumbled upon what they described as the Teletubbies put on a cross. Various models of the cast, notably Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Poe, and Lala, were hung up on large black crosses with their arms and feet seemingly nailed to it. Their faces were replaced with distorted screaming faces, and their bodies were burned to a point of unrecognizability, aside from their barely noticeable antenna. As the player continued to wonder, a sudden appearance of something caught them off guard. A voice trumpet, though this one, unlike the desolate and charred wasteland, was completely intact with no visible damage. As it finally rose from the ground, glitched audio taken from the show played. Time for Telly bye-bye. The audio began to repeat itself, and as it did, more and more of the voice trumpets rose from the ground, until there was an entire squadron of voice trumpets, all repeating the same goodbye message at a cacophonous volume. That was until all of the audio suddenly stopped for around a second before a new voice, not taken from the show, but seemingly original to the game, echoed out. Solaris is here. Prepare. The sounds of trumpets blaring could be heard, as well as the sounds of rumbling. As the player frantically looked around, they finally spot them. In the sky, an image of what appeared to be the baby sun could be seen, though altered to look much like the environment, and having a creepy smiling face in place of its normal one. As it was spotted by the player, it immediately charged toward them, as the player desperately attempted to flee from it. Eventually, the player was caught, causing the game to crash, along with an error message reading, "Solaris loves you." Many users on Roblox who saw the players' forum posts about the game had varied reactions. Some dismissed it as something said player made up or as a desperate attempt at trolling. Others who personally knew the player corroborated their claim as they weren't the type to lie about something, frankly, this bizarre. People on the forum speculated if the game had a deeper meaning, or if it was simply just made as a joke. However, despite attempts by players, the game would be swiftly taken down. Whether this was due to copyright infringement from Wildbrain or due to Roblox themselves is unclear. What is clear is all mentions of said game were removed and anyone trying to discuss anything related to it would either be muted or banned altogether. Due to this, the game would fall into obscurity and would become a forgotten part of Roblox's history. That was until recent developments would shed new light on the game. Around a decade after the game's release, news about a burned-down community center in Wyoming would spread online. While the center was known to be abandoned for some time due to the organization owning it filing for bankruptcy, it had been rumored that said building would be host to shady practices, ranging from gang activity to drug dealing and the like. However, what authorities would discover would confirm said rumors, in the worst way possible. Inside the building would be various pieces of merchandise and memorabilia related to the Teletubbies TV series, including various banners related to the baby son, though oddly named as Solaris. As more of the building was investigated, local police would discover a door to a basement underneath. As the lock was easily broken, what was discovered would be described as a gruesome sight. While the specific details have been thankfully omitted, there was one piece that has been documented. A computer sat in the middle of the room with a notepad document open on it. On it was one simple sentence: "Solaris loves you." If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, because there are more chilling tales to be told. Also, check out my other social media profiles. The links for those are down in the description. Thanks for listening.